any final decisions were made. Nobody closed the door.
Nobody closed the door. There were a few closings in the categories that we saw.
Right.
We had a new fitness champion in Michelle Verdua-Mensah.
Yep.
We had a new figure champ in Sid Gillen's vacated title, Rhea Gale.
Yep.
Physique, Sarah Villegas and Natalia Coelho duking it back and forth.
They were going back and forth, man. That was incredible.
Well, I don't think it was like an upset. I think that Natalia arrived at the right time and she got the right placing.
Yes.
She listened to the judges year over year. She brought the changes, and it proved, and she walked away with the medal.
Yeah, and in the women's bodybuilding, I mean, there's Andrea Shaw, and then there's everyone else.
Yeah. She's like the Usain Bolt, man. Like, she's just running that 100-meter final and looking back like, you guys ain't going to have a chance at this, man.
Well, now, guys, Iris Kyle has 10. Linda has 8. How far is this reign going to go?
Well, Andrea just tied Corey Everson with 6, and she says she's going for 11. Ooh. And right now, I can see in this lineup, there's probably in the next couple of years that no one's going to come out and touch her. But you never say no one.
That's right.
Remember when you were one of the USAs, you came out of nowhere.
It all comes down to how she can sustain that physique and just make the minor improvements. There's nothing that she has to, it's not about 5-10 pounds of muscle. She has everything that she needs. But the second place competitor, I mean, man, like she could be knocking at the door within the next calendar year. We just don't know, but it usually comes down to the champion usually losing rather than someone beating them.
Now, I saw Ashley Jones this morning walking around Resorts World. Big smile on her face. She's young, she's got an amazing structure, and I think she's got the patience it's going to take to grow into her physique as a pro bodybuilder and not make any mistakes.
Reminded me of like the days of Lee Labrada and Lee Haney, though. See, Lee Haney just had the volume, and he was not letting up. He was not making mistakes, and right now, Andrea is so experienced.
Yes.
And she's so on her game. I don't want to say she's on cruise control, but she's in refinement mode.
Yep.
She just has to avoid injury and not let these guys close the gap.
Our final category last night, before we talk much later about the Open, was the 212. And that was a good one.
Sean Clarita looked the best he had ever looked. Even when he won, I don't think he looked as good as he did last night.
Agreed. I thought that he looked incredibly awesome. Not just at prejudging, but also he carried it through the night show. And Keon just had to make some, I thought he had to make some really big adjustments after prejudging, and he did that.
Well, Keon had to make some mental adjustments as well.
Yes, he did. He did. He came up to me and he was like, man, like his whole demeanor was just shaken up. And I was like, you thought that this was going to be easy?
Yeah.
To repeat over and over again, you're going to have a formidable athlete such as Sean that is looking at it like he's chomping at the bit. He's like, man, if he's not ready, I'm going to kill him.
Yep.
And I said, flip the switch. All champions know how to flip a switch and go for it.
Well, he doesn't have a lot of volume to work in the midsection, very much like Kai Green and William Bonac. Short torso, an extra couple of pounds, and he starts to spill over. And it was spilling over at prejudging. He tightened up at the finals. He came back with the confidence that I think you helped him out gain his confidence. He won that thing 3 times, but what he forgot was that Sean had won it twice.
That's right.
Sean's now a 3-time first runner-up, but he was giving everything he's got. If Keon comes back again next year, it's going to be another dogfight.
Well, and I'm excited to see what he does in Prague.
Yes.
But it cannot go unsaid. You both said it. Sean Clarita brought his best, so it was not a walk away for anybody. He was nipping at his heels the whole time.
Yeah, he reminded us that anything is possible. He came up a little short, no pun intended, but he almost won that title, and that would have changed the whole landscape and plans for Keon Pearson. Sometimes losing is the best thing. Andrea Shaw got beat at the Rising Phoenix. She didn't like the way it tasted, and she came back and she won her 6th Olympia. Keon's going to have some adjusting to do because I think he's the #1 bodybuilder on the planet. But yesterday he showed us that he is beatable.
Yes.
It is not going to be an easy road for him.
Right.
When he's 100%, I think he is the best. But he leaves 2% open, he can get beat by anybody.
And with him going into Prague, I mean, that's going to allow him to gather more data as to what it would look like him competing in the open division. You know, there's going to be some very big athletes there, such as a Michael Krizzle. This guy has a ton of muscle that he's going to find out his own recipe in the open division if he decides to make that jump.
Sure.
Now, to go back to somebody with a flawlessly structured, symmetrical physique, Sean Ray.
Yeah, thank you.
When you were up against the taller guys carrying it at 30, 40, 50 pounds of mass,
right,
what did you do to make yourself known on stage?
I think, like Phil, I just concentrated on what I could handle. Like, I knew they were there, but I could only control this.
That's right.
So I wasn't going to outmass them. I wasn't going to grow a couple of inches. I just had to focus on what I'm good at. My presentation, my mandatory poses, not blinking, not being afraid, and that elevated my confidence. It came across on stage, and I hope it influenced the judges. It wasn't enough to make up for the size difference. They were 5 inches taller, 60 pounds heavier. I was okay with that. I was beating everybody else, and I was okay with that.
Well, guys, tonight in the action, we've got 4 classes, 4 divisions. Bikini, we had a lot of Olympia champions on that stage going up against each other. And we had the return of Maureen Blanquisco.
Yes, and you know what? I'm a fan of all of them, right? And it's so hard to really decipher like who's really going to take it home, and that's why we have the finals, you know. And shout out to all the competitors. A lot of buzz was happening after the expo.
Yeah.
A lot of people. My texts were. My phone was blowing up. They were like, Phil, like, what do you think? What do you think? I'm like, I don't know. And even if I gave you a prediction, I'm probably going to be wrong.
Yeah, especially when it comes to bikini.
Yeah.
Because literally the top 10 girls can rotate. I'm not 100% certain what they look for, but Maureen coming back throws a whole monkey wrench in the whole program. And of course, Laura Lee is phenomenal. And what can you say about Ashley Kaltwasser? Someone's got to win, but to me, they're all winners.
Yes. Well, and I just heard in my ear here, I got an earpiece tonight, fellas. Wellness last night, Eduarda Becerra.
Yes.
Amazing.
She was a knockout, and I think they got decision right there.
Yeah.
There was some very minute things, because again, just like Bikini, they are all so amazing at this level that you really have to work hard to pick them apart.
Yeah, and weren't we looking for a comeback from one of the girls, Shanique Grant? Was it she supposed to be someone that was going to make
I
a
was
splash?
wondering about that, too.
I didn't see her at the finals.
No, much like Missy Trescott, it takes a time to determine from what class you're transferring over into how to dial yourself in for that class.
Right.
I talked to Missy today and figure she was very pleased. Yeah. She was upbeat and said, you know what, my first time, I feel good where I was, I feel good about what I brought to the stage, and I'm ready to just dial it in and get closer to the top.
And that's what champions do. They collect that data. They don't take it super personal. And they go back in the gym and they work on it and make it personal going into next year's Olympia.
100%.
Missy is a champion. We all know that. But she needed that experience on that stage in a different category to then go back home, rest up, and then draw out that game plan and then execute it. And I have no doubt that she'll be back.
And once again, Phil, there's a difference in qualifying for the Olympia and competing in the Olympia.
Yes.
And you can win a qualifier anywhere and look phenomenal. You get here against the best in the world, you might be starting at the bottom, working your way back up to the top.
Now, Phil, on Primetime Muscle, there's a phrase that Tarek obviously stole from Sean Ray, now that I heard him say it.
Yes.
Time to lose some followers.
Lose some followers.
So let's talk about classic physique.
Well, the classic physique, we know Mike Sommerfeld is the story. That's the reason they reweighed themselves, they reheighted themselves, and I heard that he struggled to do both. The height was an issue. I heard he was 5'9", heard he was 5'7", created a lot of a conversation, shed some light on it, but he did not let us down at the prejudging. He looks every bit as formidable as he was a year ago as he is now. So with all the talk and all the interest around it, Mike delivered.
Now, Ramon Dino, I saw him 2 weeks ago at Derek Lunsford's gym in St. Pete.
Yes.
He looked incredible.
Absolutely. And what I was really impressed with was how he actually transitioned in his posing. And then also the leg development. He always had that roundness in his quads, but from the rear, they were kind of narrow. That's not the case this time.
Yeah.
And that helped with his back double bicep. That even helped with his back relax. And that's what you want. You want to go back to the drawing board, figure it out, look at who is that, front runner, such as Mike, and say, you know what, I can do that. I may not have to be bigger than him. I just got to be a little bit better than I previously was.
Right. He had a water retention issue last year that wiped him right out of the thing. This time around, he might win this competition.
Well, Terrence Ruffin looked amazing.
Not just amazing. Terrence Ruffin is there, and then there's everyone else. He is a different, unique specimen. And when he poses tonight, you'll see what I'm talking about.
Well, Terrence and so many others, we had some great guys making their way to the top. Josema from Spain. It's going to be an amazing final, and I'm really excited to see where Matt Grego ends up.
Yes.
And Niall Darwin. There's some amazing guys in 5 through 10.
Very interesting combinations of where they're going to wind up. Very unlike the open bodybuilding, which we're going to get to. But the classic physique, I think there's a battle to be had, and we are not sure who's going to walk away with that one.
Well, again, if you don't have the pay-per-view, if you're one of the hundreds of thousands around the world watching on YouTube right now, thank you for joining us. You can get that pay-per-view. This is going to shut off in a little bit. OlympiaProductions.com. We're going to go to commercial. We're going to talk about men's physique. We're going to welcome in someone with us, and then we're going to talk about the Open when we come back.
Thunder, the sun, moon, the stars, and the hunger, abundance in bundles, blessings and troubles.
Fuel your grind with the science of results. High-tech pharmaceuticals brings power, performance, and precision to every product. Elevate your fitness. Visit hightechpharma.com today. Backed by science. Built for strength.
Sun, moon, stars, and the hunger, abundance in bundles, blessings and troubles.
And we are back at the 2025 Olympia. Joe Weider's Olympia Fitness and Performance Weekend, brought to you by our friends at New Tech Strength Equipment and Integral Medica. Guys, we're joined by a special guest tonight, Rich Hernandez. Pretty impressive resume.
Oh, yeah.
Holds some push-up records, known in motivation as the Mexican David Goggins.
That is awesome.
4,000 push-ups in a row?
That's right. So I've done 4,000 unbroken push-ups before. That's my record. Right now I'm doing the hardest push-up challenge in the world, where I do one set every day. The reps go up by 5. Literally, right before I came on this stage, I did 1,420 in my hotel room.
Talk about a pump for a Saturday night.
That was about 5 more
That's
than
like
I've
what we
done
do.
in my lifetime.
Yeah, it's like, you want to get pumped up before you go out, kicking it with your friends and stuff. It's like, don't mess with this guy. You got a lot more work to do.
That's that pre-beach workout you
Exactly.
do.
Yes.
I was asking him earlier, Rich, how long does it take for you to do that many push-ups?
It all depends. I live stream every day, so I've been able to build community around all of this. I got 100,000 to 400,000 people that join me every single day. When I turn off the chat, I get it done in 49 minutes.
Right.
I can move pretty quickly, so it could be 28 push-ups per minute. Or if I have the chat on and we get some conversations or some trolls in there, it might take an hour and a half.
Trolls? What are we talking about? Trolls?
People talking smack.
say-
Hey, man,
they'll
that's
say-
only 1,000. Give
Yeah.
me another 1,000.
All he's eating chips and dip.
And talking smack.
Exactly.
There's a lot of people at home going, that wasn't all the way up.
Yeah, no, I hear that all the time. I hear 0, 0, 0. I hear unk. I hear a lot of things. I hear everything.
So this is your first Olympia. What do you think?
First Olympia, I am blown away. So I grew up in LA, lived near Venice Beach, so always
Yes.
adjacent to the fitness community. But I've never been to an Olympia, and I am blown away. They say on the website, I read that the best of the best meet here in Olympia. So I'm honored just to be here and be a spectator.
I like to do this because I like to gaslight and pump you up.
Sure.
So I said, Rich, do you have any guys that you really like in this group? Who's your favorite nowadays? He says, I'm more of an old school guy. The pros from the golden era, like Sean Ray.
Appreciate that, Rich. Thanks,
That's what I
brother.
said. I said that off camera.
You must have seen me do 2 or 3 push-ups in my time. I got good form.
So what'd you think of the expo?
Oh, the expo is great. It's crazy how many people come together. I went to the show in the morning, and one thing that I was blown away by is you always see this stuff on TV. You see all the great physiques, but when you see it here in person, it adds a whole new dimension. Like, I was sitting 5 rows back, and everybody looked like a bronze statue.
Yes.
It's the amount of, I'm an elite endurance athlete, And I know how much work and how much effort has gone into this, and there was nothing but respect and appreciation for these athletes.
Yeah, it reminds me when I played football as a kid, and then I got to the high school level in that high school stadium, and then I went to watch a college game, and then you watch the pros, and you see the difference of how much more intense it gets.
Oh yeah, blown away. I'm going to come back. And by the way, if you guys are sitting out there and you've never been to an event like this, absolutely make the trip. Come out here. This is my first time. I got a fresh perspective. Totally worth it.
Did you watch all 3 divisions this morning?
No, not all of them. The classic.
You watched the classic. So, do you have some favorites? What'd you think of those top 4 guys?
They all look great. They all look great. I don't want to pick a favorite. I don't want to piss anybody off, especially.
That's what we do here.
We don't want to lose any followers. We're supposed to lose followers.
Yeah, we're going to lose followers, and we're going to gain some a week later after everybody calms down.
Right.
You know, Mike was great. I was looking at Mike, and Mike is like, perfect.
So your website is Do Hard Things 365.
Yeah, so what I try to preach there, it's you be the best version of yourself. Like, that's ultimately what I'm about. Literally, like, a lot of people are going to roll their eyes, but literally, I want to level up humanity. Fundamentally, that's what I want to do. And I encourage people to show up for themselves every day. I have these things called the 3 commandments. Do something hard every day, get 1% better, do it for a long time. That's it. Those are the commandments. And the people that have been following along, they've been leveling up in big ways. I got Lily out in North Carolina who sent me a message the other day. She's like, Rich, I used to sit in my bed and scroll on Netflix, and now all I want to do is push-ups. I want to do planks. She can hold a 1-hour plank.
Awesome.
She used to go by Lily the Gamer.
That is insane.
She's now Lily the Warrior, and she can hold a 1-hour plank.
He's got a 4-hour plank record.
That's bananas. I'm already tired.
No, thank you.
Let's get back to watching the bodybuilders.
When it comes to guys and their internet handles, when it's Mike Sommerfeld, he goes by Mike the Badass. That should tell you everything you need to know.
Yep. Hey, the name fits.
Ramon Dino, if you throw any shade on Ramon, and I love Ramon.
The Brazilians are going to come for you.
You're going to get dinosaurs in your social media for days.
And the Iranians, man, they love to support their athletes, and I appreciate that.
Oh, Hadi and Beirut.
Yes, they support the guys. I love it.
It's hardcore.
And you have to have that, right? Like, people just think that it's just in America. It is not. It is in Brazil. It is in Iran. It is throughout the Middle East. Yeah. It is in different parts of the world, and thank God that we get to see these incredible athletes. You know what's really impressive is the fact that these athletes such as Hadi and Beirut, they have to go through tremendous adversity because of the world's climate, just to get here, just to be able to train and then think, I'm training every day with just a hope of getting a call from the embassy to say, go.
Yeah.
I know with Hadi and with Beirut, it's literally like, you get the call and you got to get on the plane right then.
Very stressful.
That's a lot of stress, and I just am so happy that they're competing at this Mr. Olympia contest. So I was actually able to say, I know we talked about it yesterday, to see Beirut, actually work out and pose and stuff like that. This guy, you're going to watch a guy that's so full and so excited. He is happy to be here, but he is definitely eager to compare himself to the best in the world.
Well, you're going to see something tonight because you didn't see open prejudge last night. They have to do something even harder. You've got to peak in all the other divisions at the right time once. These guys have to peak last night and tonight. They were getting harder as they posed last night, and they've got to peak again tonight. So you're going to see the best of the best in the world on this stage.
I'm looking forward to it. I'll be here front row. Absolutely. Doing push-ups. I'll be doing push-ups the entire time.
What he does best. All right.
Well, Rich, it was a pleasure. Follow Rich online. Start doing your push-ups. Wherever you start, get 1% better. Thank you for joining us.
Rich,
enjoy the show.
Great work, brother.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Rich.
All right, thank you so much.
All right.
All right, guys, we're going to go to break one more time. We're going to come back. We're really going to lose some followers. We're going to talk about how everybody looked last night and give our predictions for tonight when we come back.
Fuel your grind with the science of results. High-tech pharmaceuticals brings power, performance, and precision to every product. Elevate your fitness. Visit hightechpharma.com today. Backed by science. Built for strength.
The sun, moon, stars, and the hunger. Abundance in bundles, blessings in troubles.
And we're back. All right, guys. Last night was incredible.
Oh, yes.
There were some guys that came out, Sean, just a little off that tightened or didn't. Who were they?
I mean, let's start with one of the big glaring omissions here. Beirut from Iran did not materialize the way that a lot of us expected him. While he was winning those shows over in Dubai, a lot of people thought this is a guy that could be a Mr. Olympia winner. Not a contender, top 1, top 2, top 3. And against the guys he was with, I agree with that. But when you get here, and I said Saturday night, this stage sometimes is bigger than any other occasion, and you got to peak right, you got to be ready. Phil mentioned it earlier, the stress of wondering whether you're coming or going. It just didn't translate for Beirut.
Yes.
He looked a little bit watery, looked a little bit flat, and it just didn't happen for him. He's not in the top 5.
Now, Phil, I'm gonna throw you out under the bus real quick. You said about Hadi when he first came out that his back looked a little soft, he looked a little off his mark.
Yeah, you know, we take notes while we're doing this, you know, prejudging. And on that sheet, I was writing to Tim. I said, he is not right. And I was hoping that he would prove me wrong. And through the posing, he came alive. But initially, I started seeing like a little bit of water on his lower back. Yeah. And I was like, gosh, damn, like he has some wrinkles there. And I was like, okay, I know how this works. He's going to pose, and he's going to have an opportunity to get better. And they're going to pose him, which they did, and those wrinkles went away. Yeah. Thank goodness, because he has so much size for such a short guy. But, man, it was like, I was like shaking, because we know that a Mr. Olympia is supposed to come out on both nights.
And wow you.
And
yes.
Wow you.
Wow.
Well, I wanted... the internet wanted Nick Walker to have an amazing show, and I think Nick was probably very disappointed last night.
Well, a lot of people were cheering for him. I mean, he still probably is the crowd favorite. It just did not translate. I mean, right now I have him between 7th and 8th place, and he's going to have to do a lot to get above that. A little bit too watery, a little bit too heavy, and he didn't look like he had the confidence that he displayed on the internet coming into the show.
And I think that's the hardest thing in this era.
Yeah.
Is that you allow, and a lot of these athletes, they do this, fans, with what you guys say, whether it be good, bad, or ugly, they take that in, and sometimes they overdo their social media content, in my opinion. I used to go 0 dark 30, about 30 days out. I'm like, you're not going to see all this, because number 1, I need to focus. Number 2, buy a ticket. Number 3, I got to win the freaking Sandown. Yes. And I got to put these blinders on, because when you're in your own element, at your gym, eating the same food, sleeping in the same bed, taking pictures and videos while you're pumped, I mean, yeah, you're going to look larger than life, but how long can you hold it? And then when you get to Vegas, it's a drier climate, you have to acclimate, and unfortunately with Nick, he carries a lot of muscle. I felt like he needed to be down probably like 7 or 8, maybe even 10 pounds, just to get that pop to the muscle. I didn't see the pop there, and I felt like it was 2 different versions of Nick, from the front and from the rear. From the rear, I was like, okay, the legs, the glutes, I was like, massive, this and that. But from the front, I was like, it's kind of underwhelming. So hopefully during these next couple rounds, really, with the confirmations and all that, we could just see him come alive a little bit, because it took him, 3 years to get back on the Olympia stage? 3 years to get back here. So we need to see that. I'm rooting for him. I know you guys are rooting for him, because at the end of the day, these are champions, and they need to produce.
And he is a people's champion. Now, here's a guy who did go dark.
Yes.
And last night, he stood out there in groups, and he was awe-inspiring. Andrew Jack.
Oh, my gosh. Finally.
Yes.
Finally.
He's the most improved on stage, period. If there's an award for that, you got to give it to Andrew. He's not Mr. Personality. but he did the business with his body.
Yeah. So he could go a lot of ways tonight. If he tightens up a little bit more, he could move into that top
You want to
3.
break the internet, give him the title. I wouldn't complain. I certainly wouldn't argue.
No, and I think it's going to come down to his presentation. I feel like sometimes he comes out kind of slow, overly relaxed.
Yeah.
When you're that big, when you're that tall, you need to come out there, and there's a lot of shorter guys, right? Everyone's shorter than him, really.
Yeah.
Take up some space.
Yeah.
Show everybody that you're the
Derek's good
champion.
Derek's good like that.
And then those transitions is where I feel like he needs to be a little quicker, get into those poses a little faster, especially on the side shots. If he does that, oh man, we're gonna. I hope he does it because we're gonna see something that is gonna shake up the entire lineup.
Yeah, the body improve. I'm not sure about the confidence catching up just yet.
We've got some guys. If you've got Nick in 7th or 8th, who's 5 and 6 in your book?
Well, I mean, definitely Andrew Jack is up there. Again, Derek, Hadi, and Samson. Again, I don't want to dismiss Samson. He looks a little bit leaner, looked a little flat. That 24 hours, he could be like Phil Heath does. He could transform. I think he'll get it together tonight, and I think he'll hold on to his title.
I had asked him real quick. I had asked Samson because he saw me right back there. I was like, how you doing, champ? I'm good. I said, did you fill up? Did you eat last night? Did you rest? He goes, yes, I slept, I ate, I posed. I'm like, that's what you do. You go out there with the confidence. You got to know that it's confirmation round first.
Right.
So you got to give it everything you got. Because during your free posing, I mean, look, everybody's going to look like the champ. But there's another person I think we got to talk about, Martin.
That's what I was hoping we'd get to. Martin Fitzwater came dialed.
He was the number 2 most improved bodybuilder because we hadn't even talked about him, really. He didn't hit the mark in Pittsburgh, and it seemed like a long way for him to go. But right now, I think he actually beats Nick. So I don't think we should not be sleeping on Fitzwater to break into that top 5.
So nobody walked away with it between the guys were stealing poses from each other throughout the night between Samson, Hadi, Derek, and Andrew.
The question is, what are they going to do with Derek? That's the $1 million question. Where does Derek land in that lineup? I'm not 100% sure yet.
No,
I think he's going to be in the top 4. I don't know if he's going to be 1 or 2. He's the X factor.
You had a couple other guys with some great showings. Regan Grimes improved throughout the night last night. Martin looked amazing.
I don't want to let Phil off the hook, though. Where is Derek in this whole thing?
I mean, I'm where you're at.
Yeah.
Because I can't put my finger on it quite yet. And I felt like last year, even though he didn't, he was off last year. Him and Hani were both, I'd say depleted.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I was always expecting Derek to grow into it, kind of like what Hadi did initially. He came out, and then he grew into himself. Derek kind of held that same physique.
Steady.
And I thought maybe he was a little 90%. But we have to keep in mind, I mean, and no one gets points for this, but I just still have to say it. He competed at last year's Olympia. He won the Arnold. He did Pittsburgh, and now he's back. That's 4 shows within 12 months.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. So we got to see what he did as far as adjustments are concerned. Of course, he's got a new coach, and they were trying to figure out their recipe on a 2-day show at the Olympia. I do believe if he can tighten up and grow a little bit and get that graininess back, he can win. But if he doesn't, he could be 2nd, 3rd, 4th. I don't know. And that's what's going to, this confirmation round, we got to see some poses, man.
Yeah, well, you know who was consistent? Brandon Curry. I was actually surprised because I thought this was like his swan song and he was going to fall all the way off. Brandon Curry is as good as he was a year ago.
Yeah.
I mean, he's doing the business of
He'll
bodybuilding.
catch you slipping.
Yeah.
We talked about it yesterday.
Some of these guys he's going to take out.
And he knows what his body can do. He's very comfortable in his skin, you know what I mean? And we were calling it last night. Those most muscular shots.
Yeah. Brandon hasn't dropped off that much. I thought we were writing him off, but he's going to give some guys some problems.
Well, I asked you previously who had dropped the farthest and come from the farthest up.
Yeah.
But who in recent times or way back had been in that 1 or 2 spot like Derek, fallen out and then tightened back up? Because there's a lot of jockeying in that top 4.
There is a lot of jockeying in that top 4, but still we're talking about the top 4, and either all 4 of them could be Mr. Olympia. 3 of them already are. I mean, Andrew Jack would be a dream come true for him, coming from Nigeria and coming from all the adversity that he's come from, especially over in Dubai. He's the people's champion right now. I think people are rooting for that underdog. I mean, he has that Tony Freeman X-frame.
Yeah.
He could use some more hamstrings, he could use a little more thickness in certain areas, but he looks like an athlete. I don't think a lot of people would boo if he wound up winning the show.
And the posing routine. We already know what Andrew can do in the posing routine.
Yeah. He's going to the floor.
And he's going to the floor. And I believe, and I'm just hopeful, that, like you said, the confidence comes alive in that routine. I know he likes to pose very slow, but we need him to actually show that fire. He had the crazy eyes last night.
He did.
And I was like,
I wanted to give him my glasses.
Yeah, I'm like, damn, I remember those days.
Yeah,
you know,
and
you got to be starving for greatness, guys. You got to go out there with that aggression. And I'm really excited also for the pose down, because you got to start picking people off like you're a sniper.
Yeah.
You can't just, I don't want to see these guys kind of hee ha ha, let's hit a shot together. It's like, nope. If you're Samson, you go after Derek. You go after Hadi, you go after Andrew.
Yeah.
You call them out, and then you hit your own shots. You don't wait for someone, or you say, get your ass over here. I'm hitting the shot. I'm the current champion, not you. Don't let them, you got to do it.
Yeah.
Because those judges need to see it, the fans need to see it, and that's the only way we're going to figure this out, because we're going to crown a new champion or a retaining champion.
Fitzwater has that type of aggression. I see it in his eyes.
I saw him in the lobby this morning. He had it in his eyes.
He's mad that no one was talking about him before. He was mad we were ignoring him.
So we're going to come back. Last break, we're going to talk men's physique, and top to bottom, we're going to give some predictions. We're going to do that right after this commercial, guys.
Your grind with the science of results. High-tech pharmaceuticals brings power, performance, and precision to every product. Elevate your fitness. Visit hightechpharma.com today. Backed by science. Built for strength.
And the hunger, abundance in bundles, lessons in troubles.
All right, Sean, the question I was going to ask you earlier came back to me. Derek competed a lot this year. Old school. Like guys will qualify and you don't see him for 8 months, but he did Olympia, Arnold, Pittsburgh.
And he's back at the Olympia. I mean, he has a built-in excuse for why he's not hitting his peak right now. He didn't hit his peak last night, but he could tonight. We can't write him off because a lot can happen in 24 hours. Some guys will be better and some will be worse. He didn't stand out last night, but you know what? He's had a baby, he's at a gym, he's traveling, he's wearing the weight of trying to get that title back. There's a lot going on with Derek, so he did the best with what he has.
But it's been a long time since people competed that much.
It's a long time since guys have done 4 shows in less than a year, and you know what? I think he has to get that out of his way while he's young. I think this will be the last time he does that.
Yeah, well, let's hope so, because, you know, when you're Mr. Olympia and you're now Arnold Classic champion as well, you got to pace yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, that was something I learned from Sean. Sean plays top 5 12 years in a row for a reason. He would do the Olympia, then do the business of bodybuilding, then, you know, recalibrate everything and get back. The whole thing is about being fresh. You do not want to run your 100-meter Olympic record final in the quarters. You got to run it in the final. And sometimes, you know, you get caught slipping because your body is tired. I don't. God bless him for having the mental fortitude to even do all that. I'm sure after the Pittsburgh, he's probably like, damn, like should I have even done that?
Yeah. Right.
You know, because you don't have a quick turn. I mean, it's such a quick turnaround. You don't have enough time to like, oh, I'm not going to go to the gym for a month.
Yeah.
You still have the business. You still got to travel.
Yeah.
That wears on the body and wears on the mind. But, you know, I do believe him having that champion DNA. And if he can exude that confidence, he might be able to retain a title. He might be able to get it back, but it's going to be a valiant effort for him to do that in a major way. And it's all about who improved and who, I don't want to say shit the sheets, but that happens. And
it happens a lot.
It happens a lot, man. So a lot can happen in 24 hours.
Well, let's talk about some of the guys that we didn't cover. That they got some first timers, you got some second timers. Yep. You got a guy that everybody was really excited to see, Urs Kalaczynski.
Yeah, and again, I mentioned it was going to be a little bit too big, too soon, too much, too fast, and it was. But if you ask him, he'd probably do it all over again, because competing with these guys, getting a taste of what it's going to be like, he'll be ready again next year, but he needs time off. He needs to get a lot bigger, has to bring up his back, because these contests are won from the back. Yep. But he's a guy that we're going to be talking about down the road, not tonight.
And he's got the youth, right? That's the good thing.
Yeah.
And now he's got the data. He knows what it feels like to stand next to, multiple Olympia champions. You got 4 of them on that stage. He's able to go back, rest, Urs, rest.
I tried to say that. Nobody wanted to hear it. Sorry, guys.
Sean caught a lot of crap, guys.
Sorry.
And you guys out on the internet, I got to go against you. Sean did say you got to be able to rest a little bit, and it's for those reasons. It's because although there's excitement, look,
you gotta pace yourself.
if we could compete every weekend, we would. But you're thinking of the long game too.
Don't give me your secondhand hate, but you're rarely wrong.
I know. Well, at the end of the day, I wasn't wrong about this situation. So he's going to have a great time. He's going to experience, but he's going to go home and he's going to realize he doesn't want to come to participate.
No.
He wants to come to compete because that's what he wants to do.
We got guys like Dorian Haywood last night.
Yeah, again, he's another guy that I think probably should have been celebrated for that Masters Olympia victory, and instead he became a pace car on a racetrack. We saw him. We weren't really paying attention because he wasn't in the fight.
Yeah.
No fault of his own, but this contest is beyond his pay grade.
Well, you got Dorian, you got Tonio Burton.
Yeah, Tonio, he's a top 10 finalist. I think he's going to be in that top 10 somewhere. I think somewhere between 7th and 10th place. Put together very well.
Freaky muscle belly's great shape.
He's like a mini Dexter Jackson.
Great shoulders. Yeah. Great shoulders. Great midsection.
He's going to give guys like Urs and like William Bonac, he's going to be in there fighting Regan Grimes, fighting with those guys, and he's a little one.
Sass Harati.
Oh, man, he was shredded. And I think sometimes with him, he gets just kind of lost in the shuffle. The guys that he paired up with,
4 shows already.
Again,
another one.
Extremely difficult, but, shout out to him. He was able to hold his own, but, he got a little outclassed in that lineup.
Yeah.
Brett Wilkin, another one, made his appearance. He got that first Olympia under his belt.
That's what he wanted.
He can get his feet back and go back to the drawing board and get right back here.
Yeah, and he came here for that experience, so he got to watch from the front row. He knew he was going to be participating, not competing. But now the question is, what is he going to do with that information? Is he going to go home and apply it and try to get back here? It'll be easier for him to get here than to be a competitor in the finals.
Yes. William Bonac.
Oh, man.
11th Olympia.
The conqueror. I really appreciate his work ethic because, this is a guy that was, second at the Olympia, third. And a lot of people wrote him off a few times.
Yeah.
And he takes that stuff personal, and I love that about him because he's going back to the drawing board. He posts a lot. He shows you his progress, and he's like, hey, I might be older, but I got experience. And he showed that experience last night. The glutes are really hard. Mm-hmm. The hamstrings are still there. The biceps are there. He is missing the lats that he once had, but he's still in that lineup. He's still in that second or third call-out. And you just never know.
Yeah, he's on record as saying this is his last Olympia. And if it is, congratulations to William. Yes. But there are victories still out there on that 26 calendar year that he could win.
Okay. Who am I forgetting? Anybody?
I think we covered them all.
Regan Grimes.
Regan Grimes.
Yep. Another promise that hasn't been kept. He didn't arrive on time. I would love to see him as the final 10 guy. I'm not 100% sure that he did enough to be there.
Now, I will say about Regan, he was one of the guys that came out individually, and when he paired him up in groups, he looked really impressive in groups.
Yeah, no, he got better.
Yep.
But he's still got a long way to go because he's got that height, the volume, and the maturity is just not there yet.
Yeah, he needs to get more muscle maturity. I actually think that he needs to do more shows.
Yeah.
I just feel like he hasn't quite yet figured out that recipe where he can get shredded. On Instagram, we see it all the time, but that has to translate to this stage.
So let's break it down. I'm going to start. We didn't mention men's physique.
Yep.
Prejudge was incredible. 68 athletes from around the world. Ryan Terry came out, and I think everybody else is fighting for 2nd through 5th.
Well, the whole thing is a cat fight. Those guys are elbowing. They're fighting for space. I think a couple of them almost got into
the press conference, really.
Like you and Kai Green up there, a couple of guys.
You know, I love it, but not for Miss Physique. not for Miss Physique, you know.
It's board shorts.
But I mean, they really want it, though.
Yeah.
You know, you have a Brendan Henderson, you know, that's literally telling Ali, like, don't touch me, man.
Yeah.
I'm here to win something. I'm here to remind you that I'm the champion.
Yeah.
You think that you're just going to come in here and beat me?
Yeah.
You know, and I love that. But we got to see it on the stage, and I'm really excited for them all. I do believe that Ryan Terry did, you know, he really shut the door on a lot of guys. I mean, he took a lot of crap, too, online. And I love that because champions are supposed to catch heat. It's how you deal with the heat, and you internalize that heat and blaze a trail on this Olympia stage.
So I'm going to say shout out to two of the guys, the Brazilians, Vitor Chavez and Edjavan Palmeiro, who I really think are in the top 5. So it's going to round out probably with Brandon, Ali, Ryan, and those guys in that top 5.
One of the things I missed is I was backstage when Jeremy Buendia was coming off the stage, so I missed it. Did anybody see it? I mean, I was curious.
I didn't see it.
He's won that thing 4 times, and I was curious to see how it looked today. I missed it.
Jeremy looked really good.
Yeah.
Jeremy, the challenge Jeremy had was evolving into where the sport is now. Last year he wasn't there.
Right.
This year he was. He looked incredible. I'm a big Jeremy Buendia fan.
Yes.
So I'm always hoping for the best when he hits the biggest stage.
Yeah, I missed him. He's coming down the stairs, and I'm thinking, you won already? And I forgot it was prejudging. And he only did his mandatory, so I'm curious to see what the finals look like.
For sure, and that muscle that is new, it has a season, and we saw that last year. It didn't season enough. I felt like he brought a better package. We just have to see how it materializes tonight, you know. But the biggest thing is, Jeremy, you did a great job. Yeah. I think coming back was a great thing for bodybuilding. I think it was a great thing for Miss Physique. You are the GOAT of that category. You won 4. You have nothing to hang your head. I think that those guys that are coming up look up to you. I actually know they do.
Yeah.
And they have a lot to prove because you did do a great job.
All right, guys. He came back after an Achilles tear.
Yeah. I got 60 seconds speed round. Classic physique.
I think Ryan did enough to probably pull that back.
Okay, that's men's physique. Ryan Terry.
Ryan Terry.
Classic physique.
I'm going to wait on classic physique, but I think Raymond Dino's going to pull this one off. I actually believe.
I would like to see Ramon Dino, but it's going to be a dogfight to the end.
I'll go with Mike just to be in it. Just to
I'm going with
fight
Brazil.
with Sean. I'll just fight with Sean, I guess.
Just a fight with me.
I think Bikini, we're going to probably go Laura Lee and Maureen Blanquisco. Right. And in the big show, we got the top 4. It's now time for the biggest show in all of bodybuilding. Sean Ray, Phil Heath, Tim Wilkins. Enjoy the night, fans.
Good evening. We are about to start the program.